Greetings, Ani, Bojo, Kwekwe, Tanzi. Hello, it's Catherine and Brian from Moonstarlodge in tiny Ontario, and we're here with the reading for the week of the 23rd of September to the 29th. We're still in eclipse season, and we're inching toward a micro new moon or an apogee new moon on October 2nd. So it will be a very dark new moon. The moon will be absent. So we're moving with this eclipse tidal energy toward shamanic energies. Yes, but where was I going with that? The need to use shamanic means to really get the best out of this new moon. So I'm using the same decks as last week. If you want to review that video before this one, you will see me discuss the decks. I just want to get right into this reading. And so without further ado, Brian, can you drop the camera? I'm using this same Moondust Tarot for the cards. I usually like to, when I'm using the same decks 2 weeks in a row, to change which one is the tarot, but no, that was not to be. It was to be this tarot again, and the same cards in different clarifying positions. Some are clarifiers of clarifiers, and one is a card. Spirit said, pull a card for yourself. And if it applies to you, great, but for some reason, the card I'm pulling, I think in 5 years of doing these weekly videos, I've never done that before. Certainly, the intimacy of a reading or a message for oneself is very private, but somehow they wanted that, so, you know, no big deal. So we start here with the Queen of Pentacles. Well, what an auspicious start. Last week it was the Death card for the transformation, and through the swift action of last week's intentions and behaviors and choices, we are now manifesting everything we could want internally and personally, where the King is about manifesting what's needed in the material world. So this is our third dimensional life, our wealth, our home, our family, our legacy in the world. The Queen is very much about making sure you're taking care of self and taking care of those immediately around you, so family. So the Queen of Pentacles, very loving, good, mature use of resources, no wildness, no going on Black Friday splurges, that stuff we don't need. It's staying in a focused way around what it is that we need in this material third dimensional world. And it's clarified by the Magician. So the Magician, this ancestor, these are ancestor cards, and so this ancestor energy is saying to us that the ancestors are helping to provide us with the magical, with a K, aspects of what it takes to manifest all of this. So the ancestors are supporting the magnificence of what we are bringing about in this life. So we have help. We are being watched. We are being cared for. We are loved. We are not alone. And that is the message, too, of Weaves the Web. We are connected. So following the Queen, we have the major arcana card, Justice. So justice is being served. Things that have been out of balance, could be legal, business, very earthly stuff. But the fact that this person, to me, is looking upward, this suggests that there is some spiritual equity and balance happening. The card that clarifies it is Pisces. Well, this whole time, from the previous eclipse right through until 2027, we have Pisces energy. But I believe this also is telling me that everything that we're manifesting the past 2 weeks, last week plus this week, is going to come to head, if you will, in Pisces. So this is all a lot of personal transformation. So the kind of stuff you do to move yourself out of who you were, as the death card suggested last week. Brian, is this all really manifesting for most people by Pisces? So that's a big yes. So that's between February 20th-ish of 2025 and March 20-ish of 2025. So that's when Pisces happens. And that's my birthday month. As I mentioned, I'm Pisces Sun and Pisces Moon. So there you go. The card that sits above it is the card they said at a later point when I was pulling cards, they said to pull a card for myself and place it here above Pisces. So the card, this is kind of funny actually, it's the legacy card. So it's talking about my legacy. And it's a gravestone that says, rest in peace. Here lies an oracle reader who lived by the sun and loved by the moon. And if that doesn't fit, I don't know what. I had a good chuckle about that, but apparently there's, I hope I'm not transitioning in Pisces on my next year, but that's very telling. And I know a lot of you who follow this channel are card readers as well, so it applies, I think. Lived by the sun and loved by the moon. As all of this is happening here, this transitional stuff and this amalgamation and the amalgamation of stuff that serves our human walk, the justice card, the balancing of energies, there could be a sense of the Five of Cups energy, grieving something that's behind. And it's interesting, I was struck to have a look at what this author had to say, what she felt the Five of Cups meant in its upright position. And I look at this. This is a card of expectations, emotional investment, and seeing the bright side. It's not for us to stay in the past. If we are not moving into a forward direction, we're going to start to spin our wheels and get stuck in the mud. The reason that there's a teetering sense of staying in the past and when we really should be moving forward, it's clarified by the falling angel. It's the spiritual narcolepsy, forgetting that we are not alone in this world. Spiritual narcolepsy. The narcolepsy is people who just spontaneously fall asleep anywhere. And it's our selfhood falling asleep at the wheel, recognizing that we have support. We have support from these ancestors who very prominently asked to be in these positions, but also our connection to source and spirit. That will bring us back into the power and the balance of these energies if we recognize that we haven't been paying attention to our rituals, our meditation, our prayer, our whatever we do, working with crystals, chanting. And so I asked for a clarifier for that, and there is this card, which is from the spirit realm, and it's the Temptress. The Temptress is a woman here luring a fellow out of the boat. This boat doesn't appear to have oars, so he was just bobbing there anyway. So there is a sense that Spirit is going to give us insights and awarenesses, synchronicities, to tempt us out of this space of spiritual hamster in a cage, just going round and round and getting nowhere. We're to look to new beginnings and look past what we perceive as lost. Why? Because we have the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles is a new material beginning on this earth, new ideas, new structure perhaps around home, finance, stuff that helps us. It's just in its incubation stage, and it's interesting that it's clarified by the Fool. This is apparently karmically connected because the Fool is a new beginning, and that's what we talked about last week with the Death card as the significator. And this is what we're still moving in this same direction with a little bit more fine-tuning of what last week's message was. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, and it's a new karmic journey. So it's not just picking up a job for a month at the local coffee shop. This is a different kind of investment of energy and learning. The Seven of Pentacles comes very quickly. So what this manifests into is an ownership of the skills. It goes back to origins. From the stars we were born to the stars we shall return. It's an alien type spaceship emitting stars. So this is the connection with the karmic stuff. What we're learning and what we are experienced at a karmic level is very familiar and will help us on this Ace of Pentacles journey. So let's move past the Seven of Pentacles, which is the skill set, your past being what's the word, an apprentice. You're well into the skill set, so to speak. The Six of Cups is interesting coming back here. We've had the Five, and now we move into looking at the past and remembering with fondness things. Well, things from our past can incubate some of these ideas here. Some of us need to look into our past to find what this direction is, because it relates to our origins. So the past is indicated here. They asked for the Totem card to be put there, and this is called Crossed. It reminds me very much of the RWS meaning of the Two of Swords. It's choices, searching for purpose, and daydreaming. And that falls in with the Six of Cups. But in the older decks, the crossed swords is coming to peace. So we're finding that peace. Peace is balanced. Twos are balanced. These two swords will be balanced. Justice is a balance, bringing something to balance. So we are definitely going to find, going from this state into the positive use of memories, finding what's going to move us forward here. The final card is the Six of Pentacles, so lots of earth energy here. The Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, giving and taking, having the means to know that flow doesn't happen unless we share what we have, and to receive from others. We are not alone, definitely not alone. No need for this narcolepsy. And it's clarified here by soothing waters. This card is setting intention, clearing blockages, and energetic hygiene. Well, all of that helps us get rid of the narcolepsy. I neglected to bring this clarifier in the line below. This is the Ace of Wands. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. So let me come back to this for a second. The looking back in a positive and fond memories way gives us the opportunity to make choices, to search in a good way for purpose and the daydreaming that's involved in this. But what we're doing is incubating with spirit, once we get out of the narcolepsy, incubating this Ace of Wands, which is a new spiritual fire in the belly beginning. Passionate in spiritus. To inspire is to breathe in the energy and the power and the force. So we are being inspired to move forward. And that's when we come here to the Six of Pentacles and making sure we're doing the rituals and self-care that the Queen would have us do to make sure that we get full circle here. All right, you can flip the camera, Brian. That's a powerful reading, and certainly makes sense in light of last week's reading and fleshes out the story, gives us a lot more information to work with. We thank you for being with us. If you click on the heading of the video, not Moonstarlodge's name, but the heading of the actual video, it gives you background information and how you can support us or connect to us. I am doing private readings again now, and it's just too important a season not to be available. So if you want to hook up a private reading, you can email and we'll set that up. I'll communicate with you as soon as possible. In the meantime, have a blessed week, and get ready with your new moon shamanic rituals. If you need help with those, just reach out. And on behalf of myself and Brian, we thank you for liking, subscribing, and sending us a coffee. Aho.